can't remember the bills that I had drafted. I don't remember a lot of the votes that I took. But those experiences of being in a position where you can help someone along the way or encourage someone, for me, is what public service is about. So the title of Attorney General of Virginia, or Lieutenant Governor of Virginia, or even Governor of Virginia, Senator, those titles are wonderful, and the people that hold those positions deserve our respect. But I think the greater calling for each one of us is to serve our neighbor and to help someone along the way. And I think the calling of our party in particular is to always realize and understand, as Chris was saying at the beginning, what the creed really is all about. It's about recognizing that in that moment before creation, which none of us could ever really, truly imagine, before God created this wonderful world that we live in, that he had a plan for Al Highsmith, that he had a plan for Pat Earl, he had a plan for me, he had a plan for everyone in this room, Brian, and it was a good plan. And he gave each one of us some measure of talent and ability to do something. When I lived in public housing here in Charlottesville, I saw that. Ms. Yvonne, who could fix hair better than probably most beauty salons. And that's who the women in the neighborhood went to when they wanted to have their hair fixed. And she would charge them maybe $5. Or Bobby, who lived in our neighborhood, who could fix a car, regardless of the make or model. If your car broke down, you didn't take it to Goodyear. You took it to Bobby, and Bobby would fix your car. My mother was an exceptional cook. She always talked about maybe one day opening her own restaurant. But that's difficult to do, to pursue your dreams, to give your talents flight, to pursue your ambitions, when you have a government that puts unnecessary burdens and regulations in the way, that frustrates people's hopes and potential, that takes more of their money to spend on things that aren't very valuable at all, to allow them to stay in schools that fail them, to consign upwards of 25% of minority students in this county, when I was in the legislature, to special education. And I've been at those special ed meetings with the parents, sitting across the table from the educators, and it's a very intimidating situation. It's difficult to get out of that once you're placed into that environment. And so what you witness is government really sort of robbing people of their greatest potential, their greatest hope, and that takes away from the richness of the communities and the state and even the nation that we live in. So it should give us all pause to wonder if our brightest and best days are still yet ahead in this country if this is the way government is going to behave. That's the reason I am proud to be a Republican, is because I think we understand that innately. And that's why we talk about things like school choice, not because it's hip or it's cool, but because we have passion for kids who do have potential but are stuck in schools that are not serving them very well. We talk about welfare reform, not because we want to just take money from people, but because we realize that there is an inherent value to self-dignity and self-worth that you can't put a price tag on. And we realize that our communities are better when people feel good about themselves. That the biggest divide in our country is not the divide between those who have material things and those who don't. Even in these very tough, difficult times, the biggest divide and the most threatening divide is the divide between those who still have hope, a bright future for them. They have hope that the American dream still has application to them. And those who don't have hope, who think that this is not my country, it never was my country, they have a chip on their shoulder, they're bitter about whatever, and we've heard that word used by the other side. They're upset about circumstances. Instead of getting up every day and lighting a candle, they choose the easier course, which is a course of victimization. And now we see it play out in our presidential candidates. You know, there was a Democrat, John Kennedy, who said in 1961 in his inaugural address, "Ask not what your country can do. Ask what you can do for your country."